Hello everybody, Game Guide here. Persona 3 FES is the game, I'm the guide. Now, in the last episode, we finally got to learn about Tartarus, what it is, and here we are, about to go exploring with Junpei and Yukari. Yes, Mitsuru, we are ready. Do not hold me back anymore, we must venture forth into the labyrinth of Tartarus. Now, Tartarus is going to be a really kind of hard thing to deal with during this LP, or LP walkthrough, whatever you want to call it.
I hope I don't get lost.
Mainly because... Ow. Sorry about that. But, for some... It's going to be hard to deal with Tartarus because we don't have a lot of time, especially really early on in the game. And if you're under-leveled, it makes it really hard to survive in Tartarus. Like, actually, I was going through the game again just to, like, try to see where I could fit Tartarus into the schedule, so see if I could get through the game by adding more time in Tartarus so that I wouldn't be under-leveled for this playthrough. But actually, funny story about that, when I was actually doing that, I got halfway through the game and I saved it, but I accidentally saved it over the file for the walkthrough, so guess who had to start over just to get to this point. I know it's not that far in the game, so it's not really hurting, but it does hurt a little bit knowing that I kind of screwed up big time. Anyway, here we are in Tartarus. First off, this briefcase, I cannot speak today. That briefcase-like thing is a chest. It kind of looks more like a tombstone than either of them, but point is, they have items if you could not tell. Tartarus is kind of like it's like a dungeon, but it's randomly generated, so it's not really gonna be a problem, or well, there's no real point in having a map of Tartarus because, well, it's random. It's going to be different every time, except for, like, very few levels. But, anyway, here we are in the basic of combat. We kind of covered this last episode, but now we have a party. And instead of, like, having just your main character here command the... and all of his commands for his attacks, it kind of goes in order, similar to like most RPGs, but the problem is, or at least one of the things that was more of a problem in this game and Persona 3 as opposed to Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4, is you can't control what your partners do. I mean, you can kind of, but you don't have full control. There we go. And you don't get full control over what they do, so you have to trust the AI. And the AI can be really stupid.
Do you want to know more?
And will often screw you over. Anyway, I'm sorry that I'm skipping over stuff from Mitsuru for all this, but I feel like I can explain it. Like, for example, these Cowardly Mayas are weak to Agi spells. If you attack an enemy in their weakness, which, like I said, for Cowardly Mayas is Agi spells, then they're knocked down. If all enemies are knocked down, you perform an all-out attack, which doesn't take place in a turn order, so it's like a free attack. It hits everybody and hits every enemy for massive damage, so if you can, it's worth it, and there's very few situations where you wouldn't want to. Problem is, whenever you fight shadows, sometimes they aren't all the same enemy. So it makes it harder to knock them all down. Especially if one enemy's resistance is like, I don't know. I'll explain that later. Anyway, as you can see, if we sneak up, if we can hit them and initiate the fight before they notice us, and you can tell when they'll notice us because they'll have an exclamation point appear above their heads during the layout of Tartarus. Normally, we would get player advantage, but since this is the first floor, which is kind of a tutorial on how Tartarus works, we don't get one. But basically, the way player advantage works is if you can get a player advantage, or like if you can sneak attack and like open up the fight, kind of like how I just did, but it didn't give me player advantage because of the tutorial. If you can do that, you basically get an entire free round of attacking. It's so useful. However, the enemies can do that too. And the enemies are much more likely to get it than you are, so you have to be very careful. And here we have the introduction of shuffle time. Basically what this does is, you know those people who, like, it's like that game where you have like a ball underneath one cup along with two empty cups and you swip them around really fast and you try to find the ball. This is basically that game except with cards. However, cards with golden borders like the one on the far left, that is another persona that we can get. If we follow our eye on the persona card, we can have a new persona, obviously. Those other three are minor arcana cards. The red one is a level 1 sword card. Basically, it just gives you an item. The green one, which is probably the one that we're going to be getting the most outside of new personas, is the wand, which grants bonus experience for your fight. And the gold circle on the far right is going to be the second most important one we get. All that one is pure money. And that's exactly what I'm going to need to get a whole ton of. And that's exactly what I was talking about there. Anyway, let's keep our eye on the Pixie. So we now have the new persona of the Pixie, which is going to be very, very important coming up soon. Because if I'm correct, this is the first persona that we can get with the Dia spell. And it looks like Yukari leveled up too. Very nice. Actually, let's check that real quick. Yeah, it is the first one with Dia spells. Ooh, and it learns Rakunda next. Ooh, what is... we learned Tarunda next. And that's only in like 4 levels. Anyway, Dia is going to be so very important. Like, unless you're playing this game on easy, you're going to need a persona with Dia at like all costs. So basically Dia is a healing spell, so always have one on you at all times. Wait a minute. Okay, this is a trick that I actually learned from Super Genius's LP. Yeah, there we go. If you're in the layout of Tartarus and a shadow is facing you, but hasn't noticed you yet, you can hit the triangle button, open up the menu, close it, and then it'll basically change direction. This really helps when you're trying to find rare enemies, which we'll go over when we eventually find one, or need to find one. Anyway, Mitsuru is just about to go over how an all-out attack works, but... Oh crap, I picked the wrong one. Damn it. Well, looks like we don't get an all-out attack here.
This thing won't give up.
Whenever a character's eyes flash across the screen, it means that there's no way they're gonna miss. So it's really helpful. So, like, if you can find out that... Like, it's basically really helpful for, like, when you're planning another move. because I guess it really depends on what move it happens for, but like actually I don't really know what the main importance of it is, but like it really helps when you're using a spell with lower accuracy, like say Marin Karin, Hama, something like that. We'll go over all that when we get to it. And here we have either a pixie or a coin. And since we already have a pixie, we can't get another one. So we're grabbing ourselves a coin, which gives us 780 yen. A good amount for a rank 1. This is basically what I need to be in Tartarus for. And it's basically grinding money for this point. Or well, not this point. I will be needing to go to Tartarus, mainly for money reasons. Oh. Excuse me. Something got caught in my throat. Okay, and whenever you're on the main floor out of Tartarus, if you hit the square button, you can give orders to your party, such as main priority defeat shadows, split up and search. There is almost never a point in the game where you need to use this or should use this. Mainly because there's no real point. I mean, in most of the time in Tartarus, there's no need to split up. And if you do split up, it's usually a bad idea. Because obviously, if you get into a fight, or if one of your party members gets into a fight, you have to go all the way back and rescue them, and they could be dead by then. Point being, it's much smarter to stay together than anything else. And unfortunately, because this is just the introduction to Tartarus, we can't go further than floor 1. So since we've already gotten all the treasures, beaten all the shadows, let's just use this warp point to get back to the entrance. Aw, thank you, Junpei. Ah. Quench my thirst with a nice cold generic soda. Haha. Caught myself that before copyright infringement.
So, how was it?
It was bloody. Blood everywhere. Not really creepy design. Yeah, but it wasn't a problem.
I see. Well, if you gained confidence, that's the best thing you could have achieved.
I really don't really want to commentate over when they talk.
We kicked some ass, but damn, I'm
because it's kind of like a really big part of the game.
That's because you were bouncing around like a little kid.
Yeah, Junpei. It's like in a bouncy house.
Yeah, you look
bouncy
pretty tired
castle.
Yourself, Yucatan.
White castle. White bouncy castle. Oh man, that would be so cool. If like all those White Castle restaurants were made in bouncy castles.
Don't worry though. You'll adapt.
I tried to combine the word house and castle, and it just kind of
you all did much
failed.
better than I expected.
Flubbered around
they'll
as
catch
it.
up to you in no time, Akihiko.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Terabang! People don't use the Terabang enough. I mean, it's like the funniest. It's just so fun to say. Terabang. Terabang, Terabang, Terabang. And with that, we upgrade. Gosh. We reach level 2 of the Fool Arcana. Again, like I said before, I'll be getting more into social links when we come across them. But the Sea's social link, Fool Arcana. There we go. The Fool Arcana we have absolutely no reason to worry about. Some of them automatically level up. Most of the ones that level up on their own are near the end. And since we've finished the first floor of Tartarus, Mitsuru still won't let us go to the second floor even if we want to today. So, let's head back to the dorm. Return to the dorm, silly blue hair. Ah. Tasty. And I believe today is the first day when we have absolute control over our characters now. Hello? Indeed I am. Who are you, sir? How much did he tell you? Because you probably shouldn't trust what Junpei says. Hello, Kenji. What? There's another assembly? What for this time? It's times like this when I'm really, really glad that I live in the United States. Because, like, whenever, like, we start school, in high schools we only have, like, one assembly, and that's, like, very first day of school. And even then, that only lasts, like, 30 minutes. Where, like, the teacher's just like, oh, hey, incoming freshman, how's it going?
So,
and it only includes the incoming freshmen.
Well, I guess she is the most popular girl in school.
You can say that again. There's like some kind of aura around her. Besides, this school's owned by the Kirijo group, right?
I was in...
Yeah, I try not to think about that.
Okay, this is a very nice
As I begin my
point
term
in
as student
Yukari's
council
character,
president,
that
it
last
is my
bit.
firm belief that each of us
It
must
means that
accept the
her
responsibility
character
of
can either
bettering
go
our
one of
school.
two ways
However,
in its development.
change cannot occur
She can
without
either
sustained
just be a
effort
bitch,
and an unprecedented.
which is one
That
path,
why
obviously,
we must restructure our daily lives
or
to accommodate this.
it could
I'd
be
like each of you
suggesting
to dig deeply into
and
your well of motivation and reevaluate
that there's
your
something
convictions.
about the Kiriju family
To imagine a bold new future
that
without losing. That is the key.
involves Yukari.
I'm certain that many of you have your own visions of the future. For
And
us
that
to reap the full
that's
benefits
probably
of our
supported
education.
by why the
Thank you.
when Junpei was talking about the Kirijo group, that the Kirijo group was highlighted in blue. So there's probably a lot more to Yukari than
So,
just
Do you have an
she's
idea what
a
you just
bitch.
said?
So it's why I really like this game. There's so much character development. I sort of understood what she said. I mean, I can't have my
Didn't sound like
TV up
something a
very
high schooler
loudly,
would say.
otherwise it'll catch on the mic. So
If
I
it was
can,
anyone
like,
else,
barely hear
we'd be
anything you
laughing
guys
our
are saying,
asses
so
off.
I don't really know when to stop talking because you guys are talking and blah, 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 blah. Curses. Why did I put my bagel on my cup? That's weird. Hello, Miss Toriumi. It's the 21st today. It's the afternoon also. What? You have a poem. Pretty sure this is literature. No, let's stay awake. She'll probably yell at us if we go to sleep. Oh, who called it? She was gonna yell at us. Essay along with another assignment? Wow, she even wants a slice of cake? Wait, like last time? Jeez, Kenji. Yeah, today after school. Okay, today we'll be able to, as the help says, we'll be able to use our time after school any way we want. Most of the time, if not actually pretty much every chance that we get after school is basically going to be spent hanging out with social links. However, since we don't have any social links, there's one thing that I want to go start doing. Because we don't have any social links, there's not really much that we can do after school. However, one thing that we can do now that we usually also do during the evenings is we're going to be going to Polonia Mall and do stuff that raises our stats, such as charm, intelligence, and Courage, that was it. Courage. I kept wanting to say curiosity, but that made no sense whatsoever. Anyway, let's just leave since obviously we don't need to be at school anymore. I mean, we're just so smart. Like, all of our intelligence is in our hair. That's why it's so blue.
Where? Oh, there he is.
Oh god. They're all whiny.
Have you noticed how popular Akihiko-san is with the ladies? Man, take a look at that. I didn't
Kidding?
used to talk
Did you
to him
hear
much.
their shrill cries
good
out to the
excuse.
fellow members of their species?
I know he's the captain of the boxing team, but
It's almost like a war cry of an eagle.
who would have thought he'd be such a chick magnet? I mean, come on. You don't even see girls flock like that on TV.
What sort of TV are
Wonder
you
where they're
watching?
going.
Come to the States for a while, Junpei. Ah, god, that voice again!
Hey, are you guys free this afternoon?
Yep,
Hell yeah!
I'm sorry.
What you
I
got in mind?
really love how they do that little anime flash in the... it's
I want
just
the two
so...
of you to meet me at Polonia Mall.
You don't see artistic stuff like that in most games anymore. It's just so cool! I love this game!
You know where it is, right? I'll be at the police station. See you there.
Okay, we were gonna be heading there anyway, but... For a while...
The police station?
Actually, no, I'll cover that in a
You
second when
mean
we're actually
not
getting
hanging
there.
out with your friends?
Aw, Junpei, is someone disappointed?
Who, these girls? I don't even know their names.
Wow.
They talk so much they give me a headache.
Oh, damn! You just got told
Anyway,
by
I'm gonna head out.
Akihiko.
Don't keep me waiting.
I just did a visual gag for an audio recording. I feel so dumb.
Oh, why can't he be more friendly? But that's what makes him so cool.
Ugh. It's like a flock of seagulls.
Man, how can he not know their names? I mean, seriously, just look at them.
Forget what they
Oh,
look
well,
like. Did you
let's
hear what
go.
they sounded like? Jeez. Jesus, man. They sound so cheesy. Any more and they might ask you to come fly away with them. In the literal sense. Anyway, let's go to Polonia Mall with Junpei. Junpei. Jean Valjean. Don't know how I got on to Jean Valjean from Junpei. Although he's not French, so why am I pronouncing it like that? Anyway, police station! Kick in the door! Kick in the door! Police! Bam! Eh. That would be awesome if we could just do like action movie stunts in this game.
Thank you, sir. Oh, these are the guys I was talking about
Wait,
earlier.
what? Did you rat us out? What did we do? What did you plant on
I
us?
was waiting for you guys. This is Officer Kurosawa. He helps keep our squad.
Oh. Why didn't you
This
mention
is from
that?
Yakutsuki-san.
Now I have to go change my pants, you asshole.
Really?
You really shat myself,
Sweet.
jerk. Ooh, money.
You can't fight empty-handed. Officer Kurosawa has... But these things still cost money.
Aw. But we're saving the world. Don't we get like a discount?
Nothing in... I realize that.
That's a shame.
Well, I'll
That's
see you later.
Seamus.
Thanks again.
Seamus. Shame moose. Hang your head in shame, you silly moose. You're not welcome in the northern states.
My job is to maintain peace in this city, regardless of the circumstance. I'm just an ordinary police officer.
But it doesn't take a
But it doesn't
genius
take a
like
genius
me
to
to
know
know
something
something strange is going on
here.
here.
I'm only doing what I think is right.
Alright. Basically, the police station is where you buy weapons and armor, as was mentioned. But, for the most part, we're not really going to be needing to do that, or at least we aren't going to need to do it right now. Besides, we kind of need to keep this money for a good while, until we can go to Tartarus and start grinding. Well, hey, how much did you have before? Still, it's a nice gift, Junpei. Alright, fine. Go be in a pissed off mood somewhere else then. Anyway, we need to max out courage. And today is the day that we can start doing that. And because today is a Tuesday, there are 2 things here in Polonia Mall that opened up for us to be able to do. Normally we can go to karaoke, which is open a lot more which is open very often and gives us some courage. However, because today is Tuesday, we also have the Game Panic, which has the horror house, which gives us a lot of courage for 3,000 yen. So I would be going here, except today specifically, and also on the 26th, I believe, there's a special goings-on in Port Island Station. That was it. If we go to Port Island Station on the 21st, which is today, and the 26th, there's a much better way to get courage, and it's only on these 2 days. If we go over here to the Screenshot Cinema, blah blah blah, just telling about stats, there's a movie marathon playing for 3 heroic heroes, and a student ticket is only 1,500 yen. Now, if we watch the movie, which of course we're going to do because I just said so, it will give us 4 points into courage. Around the same, I believe that's the same amount of points that we would get if we went to the horror house, except this only costs 1,500 yen, whereas the horror house costs 3,000. So it's much smarter to go to the cinema, because then we can conserve enough money and able to get all of the stats that we can get or need to get in this upcoming week. Okay, after this, I believe starting now, we can now go out at night, which is very helpful because most of our stat building will be done in the evening time block. But I believe we can start telling Mitsuru that we want to go to Tartarus. Yep, we can. But we're not going to do that. First, we're going to go out into the evening night, and bag us some fright. I don't know. Something silly like that. But we're going to head back to Polonia Mall. Now, Polonia Mall is the only place that's open in the evening, so we can't just go back to the movies again. That would have been too awesome. And most of the stuff here is closed, except for Game Panic, the pharmacy, and the karaoke bar. Also the cafe and Club Escapade, I believe. But the police station is not open. However, right now, I'm going to go to the pharmacy, because I do need a little bit more money in order to make it through this week, without having to go back to Tartarus an extra night. So I'm going to sell my snuff souls, which is probably a really dumb idea, since that's the only way I can get back my SP right now, but I'm going to roll with it. Hopefully I won't regret it. But I'm going to go back over here to the Game Panic and spend some time at the horror house. Yay! Doubling up on my courage. Yay! Okay, if I plan this right, I should be able to reach rank 2 courage by Thursday. And now that we have the late night block, we can either sleep earlier or study and then go to sleep. Both of which have their bonuses or importances. But we're going to study, and we're probably going to keep studying whenever we can. Basically, how it works is, if you're tired or sick, you will not gain academics from studying. So you have to be in good or great status in order to get academics from studying. However, studying can make you tired. Now, if you decide to go to sleep, it will pretty much guarantee that your status will get better. So if you're tired, you'll become rested. If you're sick, you'll just become tired. And I'm sorry, Kenji. It is what it is. Anyway, and there are many smaller things that don't take up a time slot that could help make your condition better. And we'll be going over those when we get to them, but sleeping really does help when you have to prepare for like a big excursion into Tartarus. So keep that in mind. Like you really, really want to fight bosses when you're good or great status. Because fighting in Tartarus when you have tired or sick status, that is just suicidal. Don't even do it. It's just crazy. And what are you doing standing in front of my desk? You try to look intimidating, sir. I'm at school. Well, sure, why not? But why are you asking me? I suppose we could. I mean, we do have to form social links, so let's go ahead. Get some ramen. One of the things that I'm really glad that they did is whenever you go out with a friend or with someone for a social link, just like this, they don't charge you money if you go to a restaurant. So your yen doesn't go down. So I guess that means everyone's paying for us. Don't know why. Maybe. Oh, damn it. Sorry, I dropped my controller and it hit the table. But, maybe it's just that we're just so devilishly handsome. I almost want to say it's the blue hair, but I say that too much. But I do agree with you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to shut up and eat, because that's just rude. And frankly, you don't deserve to be rooted to right now. You have been rooted to, sir. Yeah, kind of. Well, it depends on what you call aggressive. I mean, depends on your definition, I guess. I mean, just personal experience. Well, not really personal experience, but just common intuition. Most women don't like it when you're aggressive. Or, I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but just a gut feeling that women don't like it when you're mean and assholeish and push and want your own way. But I'm getting off topic. We've just established a new social link, and I believe it's the magician social link. I don't know, I was kind of distracted with me going on a rant. Hooray! Aw, man, we made you miss your favorite TV show? Oh, that sucks. All of my favorite TV shows are on the internet, so it's not really a TV show anymore. And here we have the evening, so...
Welcome back.
Yeah, I have. Sheesh Mitsuru. This basic block of text is kind of pre-mediation. It's kind of like foreshadowing. Kind of, but kind of not. I'll get over that later when we get to the point where it could be foreshadowing, but don't mind the stuttering idiot talking. But anyway, with that, I will end this episode here, so I'm just gonna save real quick. Save the game! And yep, that's the the file I overwrote. And now I get to overwrite it again because I'm a big fat dum-dum and messed up. Anyway, and with that, we are done for now, and I've been the Game Guide. Hope you've liked the episode so far, and hopefully you'll watch the next one.